it addresses these three key challenges in California history education. First is that there's this lack of a diverse and rigorous curriculum for California history. Nancy mentioned this at the very beginning, but textbooks are seriously outdated in California. Time and time again when I work with teachers, they say, as long as I've been a teacher, we haven't had any new textbook adoptions. On top of that, there's just this general lack of teacher resources to address student deficiencies in this area. So teachers themselves, if they don't have up-to-date textbooks, they also aren't as prepared because there's no real resources, especially at the elementary level. Teachers that go to get multiple subject credentials, they have very little concrete California history training. And in part because of this, we found that there's this real inadequate kind of level of not just student engagement, which Jasmine is excellent about talking about, but achievement and literacy overall. So what we kind of came up with is this way of imagining how we would incorporate California history both in the regional narrative and in the national narrative. And we've identified these three themes. I'm going to tell you really quickly because I want Shelley to talk about a concrete example. But this is how California is organized right now in the content standards. California, it's taught in grades 4 from really pre-contact beyond ancient history to modern day. We've all been talking around this. Chronologically, this is, an unrealistic expectation that a 4th grade teacher could tackle in a school year. And on the ground, what happens at the elementary level is that school year history centers around projects, like of course this mission projects, but then you have this kind of hodgepodge of the gold rush, and then progressivism, and then if we're lucky, the Great Depression, and then if we're even luckier, suburbia. And what's missing is this overarching narrative that weaves together this story of California that makes sense both as a state and as part of this nation. And the same mix of kind of a hodgepodge narrative holds true for 5th grade and then into 8th grade when we cover kind of the early republic through end of the 19th century, and then into the 11th grade 20th century and 12th grade government. Now, kind of given the enormity of grade levels that cover California history, what we want to do is we want to develop units around these 3 broad topics and make each topic or each theme specific to each grade level. So this is what we imagine. Thank you, Nancy, for the fancy graphic. So what we want to do is we want to spend time exploring how California history kind of affects Unit A would be the people. Unit B is the place or its environment. And Unit C is political and economic resources. Because what we're going to argue is it's this interplay between these 3 themes that tell a coherent narrative of California, and this can be done at every grade level that California is woven into the narrative.